Okay, so I wanted to create a childcare finder like website app to make finding childcare a lot easier. I have two kiddos, so really trying to find a daycare for both of those that works for my work schedule. You either get word of mouth or social media, and working in childcare before too. It's really hard to manage a wait list and having to call people one by one to see if they're still interested after it. It makes it pretty difficult. So the community that I was doing was the daycare community for all children from little to old, however old you need them to be, and all income accepted. The asset is that there are so many daycares widespread that you don't really know what's out there. You don't know if you could be paying cheaper at another place. You don't know the hours that other people offered. You're kind of locked down to what you kind of know. And that's the threat, is not having all the details right in front of you. Same thing, the problem, the wait lists aren't electronic. You can't see your spot on where you are besides calling and finding out when you're going to have a spot. And so if you sign up for a wait list at numerous times, you don't really know where you are. And it makes it complicated also for the child center to, if they have 20 people and they keep calling and calling, and if you've already accepted daycare, it's hard to that communication. So the solution that I wanted to create was having everything in one application or website. And so providers can sign up, people looking for daycare can sign up, and it's really just in one area. You can have electronic wait lists, see where you are, and you're able to sign up, put all your information in there, you can update it. The storyboards, I was kind of thinking of an app at this point when I did this, but really it was just going to have like the header. You could log in as a daycare finder or a provider, and then the child care map you could narrow it down to your area and you'd see all the details. The user interface and user experience that I chose was kind of like light blue, pink, gray, colorful child colors, the Legos, common child toy, and simple thought. And then the setup, I just really wanted it super organized. So when you went in looking for daycare, that would be the side you get. And when you sign up as a provider, that's the profile that you would get as well. For my market research, there are a few things out there, like if you Google daycares in Maine, it will bring you to a website. But what I wanted to do differently is when you go to that website, you'd click on like a million different links that would bring you to one daycare, then you'd have to go back, then you go to another and you go back. And then there's also a Bright Wheel app, which is actually what my daycare actually uses. It's a little bit different. It targets basically the child when they're in daycare instead of the whole sign up process. But this you can message and keep up to date. So the HTML, CSS, my difficulties was creating this there where I wanted two different things. There were so many databases that I had to create, and databases were pretty difficult for me to learn. And then the things that I did learn was CSS, add images, and the font and text, which was cool. The back end, why we use, I put this on here because it was on the thing, but why we use Flask was customized web applications as a controller. And then the database that I use stores a bunch of information and it identifies objects, attributes. And then the challenges that I learned again was just trying to manage a bunch of databases. My branding and marketing, I created a little logo down here. I just wanted something bright, eye-catching. The first impression that I wanted when someone came to my website was organized, like child-friendly and colorful. And the statement was the content we produce helps our company accomplish an easier and more simple way to find the perfect childcare for you with organized content that makes finding and providing childcare feel tension-free. And then the proof is a great user experience to find safer childcare and comfort. So I recorded my demo because I had so much anxiety that my website wasn't going to work. So you're going to hear me talking. I hate listening to me talk, but I will play it for you.
Wait, Rachel, can you pause it really quick? Are you sharing your volume as you're sharing your screen?
Hold on. What did you say? I might have to do it a different way.
If you like click share, you have to like check a button to also share your volume. I was wondering if you checked this. I couldn't hear your volume. I don't know if anyone else could.
Okay, it was, let me see here. I can try it this way and see if this works. Hold on. Okay. Can you hear it? Could you hear it? No?
Not yet.
Okay, so they're just gonna be no talking, I guess.
If you can always narrate it,
Okay.
as it works through the demo, if that works for you also.
Okay, I'll do that. So this is the Childcare Finder app, and the mission that I put was to find the perfect childcare for your precious little ones right at your fingertip. You can sign up as a childcare or as a provider, and then you can also log in. And you also have the nav bar on top once you sign in that you can find your profile, and you can also find the childcare providers in my area as well. Hold on, it's going to go to the next screen. And then we'll sign up to find childcare. And then you can enter your name and whatever username that you want as well. Your password. Sorry, the location that you need. Don't really need to go through all this, but once you hit submit, it will bring you to your profile page. And so it brings you to your profile page that gives you all the information that you inputted, what location, how many kids you're trying to find for daycare, the age, and the hours. And then it will, below you can find childcare, and eventually this will be a map of all the different daycares in that area that you had put. And if you go back, this will be a dashboard. So if you go back home, you can go to your profile from the home page as well. And then you can log out. And you can go, if we log into you can also go to the sign up page if you get to the login page, and you can go back to the login page, but it's gonna log in real quick as the one that we just did. And then it brings you back to your profile. And then, I mean, this goes on and on. Like if you sign up with the same username that you already did, it will tell you wrong. It's already taken. And then you can do the same way for your provider sign up as well. And it brings you to another profile with all of the things needed for a provider. But that is kind of it. And then the next thing that I wanted to do in the last slide was I obviously want to create the electronic waitlist and also create a way better map. So yeah.
I know I'm not a panelist, but I'm super jealous. How did you get all those options? Was that into your database?
A lot of work, but yes, database.
Because I wanted to put more options in, like a zip code finder and the ability to like change and update a bio. And I only got like the basic like 5 forms. and it looks so good. I am super jealous. I'm also really happy for you.
Well, thanks, Kat.
That was amazing, Rachel. That came out so good. You did such a great job.
Thanks. I was so stressed out about it.
That was really fantastic, Rachel. You and Stephanie should combine forces. So when they go to daycare, right, then they wear the mommy and me watch, and then they're safe and sound. That's the start of your all's $1 billion like integration startup right there. I like the features a lot. I'm just trying to think of anything that would be hard or challenging for you. Which would be maybe what if you enroll, especially I guess for me, I think that something to think about would be the multiple places, right? So if my I think one of your options was 5 to 11, right? What if one daycare only accepts up to 10-year-olds, right? So I have to get another place for my 11-year-old. How would that map out? Like, let's say that one is, one part of Augusta and the other one's the other side of town. Like that'd be something to think about as well. Like, maybe like an area max type thing or something like that. But that's all. I mean, that's a problem that I don't know how to solve yet. But that's something to just keep up at night when you make this $1 billion idea. So thank you so much for a great presentation.
Thanks. And actually, I think it's a great point to bring up is like, it'd be cool to eventually have the daycare providers also see like what childcare is needed in their area that's not in that area. So thank you.
I think that last point made is a great idea also, because you'd have a lot of data from folks telling you what they need, and you can help daycare providers. And it's something that they would also potentially, that would bring them to your platform, because you can help them understand like demand in their area, or, we've got more older kids coming along, or maybe they don't realize that there's demand for older kids, things like that. So yeah, looking at it from both directions is really valuable, because usually the data you get from one side of the equation can help the other side of the equation. But yeah, and I love the idea as well. As I mentioned earlier, I have kids and we struggled to find daycare. We had a daycare provider back out at the last minute when we were ready to send our kids to daycare, and having a way to find local providers that can handle like combinations of ages or whatnot is really cool. And I can definitely see your your emphasis like in your presentation and how well you put all that together, and your emphasis on the user experience and everything. So I think that was a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I also love just like the large range of children's ages that you can work with. And I guess you would probably need a provider portal as well. So you can log in as the person needing the help and then put in what you need. And then there's probably gonna have to be like another separate login for I'm a provider and here are the age ranges that I can work with. And then maybe like, I don't know, but maybe there's some way to verify like they're actually capable of taking care of a baby that is 6 weeks, because it's like, I think there's a lot more that you need to know. So I really like the impact oriented theme. I also like that you're using Flask. I use Flask for my side project. Makes databases a lot easier, though databases are always hard. But it's just like a really nice tool to get started, and a lot of companies use it. So really awesome that you got that working. And the map too. I once worked at Google Maps and did something very similar, and it took me a long time. So awesome.
Thank you very much.
All right, round of applause for Rachel. Awesome work. Great presentation. It looks super professional too, your slides.